all doing well. I'm doing another client session. We're going to be going as guided by spirit. There aren't any specific goals. If any of you are interested in exploring a session with me, I'll put a link to my website in the description. So I'm going to go ahead and relax here and get tuned in. Okay. All right, so I'm being introduced to something a little frictiony, and it has to do with the crown chakra and third eye and kind of energy that's getting pulled forward and then down the front of the face, okay? And there's some inability to kind of get out of the way of yourself and see yourself from the other side. From the other side, now you see yourself. This ripping, though, is kind of painful. So let's just continue from here. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, the next thing, you're hung by different strings. And one of them, they're pretty thick like ropes. And one of them is holding you by the neck. There's two ropes around your ankles, and you're kind of suspended backward. You're kind of suspended up even. So like your hands are up, your neck is being held by a rope, and you're forced in this position, and you're looking downward. There's removal of something that no longer serves your purpose. This is going to be really strange, okay? But it's coming from where you go, number 2. It's coming from your butt, your rear, and it's an energy, okay? It's from the energy side of things, and there is a drawing or a removal of energy that no longer serves your purpose from your backside. And you're really uncomfortable and you're angry about this, and because you're so roped up, you can't control the situation. You're going to endure this, whether you like it or not. However, I will say this is actually helping you and not harming you. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if nothing about this is right, even if you want more control over the situation, this is actually a good thing that is happening. It does have an extraterrestrial vibe to it. It is, there is a surrealness because it has this like unbelievable factor. It's not angelic. However, it has intelligent intentions that are in your best interest. And vibrationally, this is actually bringing you balance. This is bringing you into a better balance. And all I can do is simply wait and watch. And literally, it's just like energy that's coming out. It's just still coming out. What does the energy look like? It just, I don't know, like it looks like a smudge. And it's kind of a developing smudge of clear energy. And there's some things you really don't want to let go of. So, okay, there's so many people talking all of a sudden. One of them quickly is sending me, this is really, really important, okay? Now, in life, you're going to consume things that are unhealthy, all right? Now, what if you don't want to let go of those unhealthy things? And they could be memories. They could be relationships in the astral plane that you didn't even realize that you had. And these are sort of consumed into your physical body, energy bodies. And some of this you're not going to truly understand at the conscious level. It seems to me, and I come across this sometimes, that there's sometimes these like energy points. I've come across like etheric crystals that were put there by whom exactly, but usually the etheric crystal is full of a certain type of information that you need to receive in your energy field over a period of time. And once the etheric crystal has served its purpose, it's released. And then sometimes something else is put there in its place, or you're just simply done with it and now you're complete with whatever that was about. Some of this stuff is not really anything we could understand at the mind's level. So this being that's really piping up is talking about how what your plans are in this life. You can't have this baggage And it's not necessarily baggage that you're going to be able to understand at the human level, but that they're drawing this out of you. Okay, they're drawing it out of you, so it's not there. But it does feel uncomfortable. It does feel like uncomfortable. It feels very uncomfortable. Okay, it feels like constipation times like 10, and it feels like very awkward and uncomfortable, and that's what it feels like. But it's literally, I understand what is being said here. Um I understand what they're saying, and this is still being drawn out. Okay, and you're relaxing more about it, and you're choosing now to trust, and trust in how you're being guided, because in the end, no matter how hard you want to control this thing with your human mind, and by thinking this your way through this, it gives you an edge, right? But your higher self knows so much more than you all will ever know. So your higher self is guiding the path, and your higher self is introducing you to experiences, or opening you up to experiences that are not all human, that are beyond the human world. So you're an interdimensional being having a human experience, but you're also having an interdimensional experience. But you're going to have to trust in your higher self. And part of this message is telling me that there may be more weird stuff that seems beyond the human experience. It's an interdimensional experience. So there's going to be learning experiences involved with that, but it's almost like you're going to be introduced to more what could be weird stuff. But it's part of the path, it's part of your growth and development, and it's introducing you to interdimensional beings that are here as a part of your life path. Okay, that's the best way I could define it. I feel inspired to tell you, just from my own personal experience, that weird stuff, it's annoying at times, but it's always for the best. So sometimes it's scary in the middle of the night, or sometimes something good, it's about something good, but you can't really understand what that is or what they're trying to tell you. That's why me learning how to journey, for instance, it helped me get out of the way of my mind's interpretation, so I could actually see what was really there. Because what I was afraid of wasn't oftentimes what this was really about. It wasn't really meant to be a scary thing. It was just scary because I couldn't understand it. So I was afraid of it. It wasn't trying to scare me. I just simply was afraid of it. So again, there's another interpretation of how the human tries to translate something that is confusing to the human mind. But if you were to meditate and kind of go into a journey state, for instance, that's how I do it, you would be able to understand it better, because you're going to have to learn how to translate energetic communication, because psychic communication is energy communication. And you're going to, it seems to me, develop energy psychic communication and interact with beings across the universe as part of your life path. Okay, I'm just going to say that. There's something else now. They're still drawing this out, and there's something quite large and impossibly large. It's almost like an entire body that you are pushing out, and it's extremely uncomfortable. And you're really angry about this one. And I tell you, hey, what is this about here for you? Because the only reason why this is going to feel uncomfortable and hurt is because you're resisting something you can't understand, and you're wanting to hold on to things that aren't actually in your best interest to hold on to. And again, you're not interpreting this correctly. It's kind of like the example I told you. Like, there's going to be times where you could be woken up by a scary thing, but it was only scary because it was something that was unresolved inside yourself. It wasn't actually as scary as it was intended to be. Okay, so this would be like an uncomfortable thing, but if you trust in the process, you'll find that this is so easy. It's so easy. It's as easy as just relaxing and breathing and having a wonderful day. Enjoying the sunshine on your face, like just an enjoyable moment. It could be that easy. What what are you, where's the resistance coming from? Okay, they're telling me the first thing you got to do is just relax your vibration down. And I keep telling them it'd be really like helpful for me if we could work with different imagery, because seeing you roped up like this and then this like smudge coming out is a little bit weird. Obviously, it's meant to be a weird thing. It's meant to challenge our minds, our egos. It's meant to challenge our interpretation of good and bad. It's meant to challenge us. But it would help me if maybe I could. I mean, I could still work with this image, but do they have anything else in mind? Maybe. I'm just gonna forget about it. I'm just gonna just relax your energy down, okay? This is so good. As I relax your energy down, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're relaxed, but it's altering your relationship with time, and it's helping me to understand what you're holding on to. And there is a conflict here because there are good aliens, good ETs, and there are bad ones. All right, this is the best way I can define it. And let's just call them interdimensional beings. There's some interdimensional beings that are, this is so I try to avoid these types of conversations, but we're just gonna play out the story as it is, okay? So they're your classic reptilian, and they own you, and so you don't own yourself. So these other beings that are here to help you, and the reptilians don't own you, and you're free to make your own decisions, are drawing this crap, literally crap, out of your backside, and telling the reptilians to basically F off. And they are, actually. The reptilians have to let go of you because they never had control of you in the first place, and they never owned you. That was their own self-manipulation, because there's some aspects that want control, or they want power, that then allows them to elevate above others, which doesn't actually exist unless others give their power away. And it's not for you anymore to have any of your power given away, because it belongs to you. And what these others are drawing out, the crap they're drawing out, it no longer serves your purpose, and it's old stuff. And they keep emphasizing that it's not necessarily going to be understandable at the mind's level. And you still don't know who to trust. And again, if you trust anybody, you have to trust your higher self. So you don't have to trust the reptilians. You don't have to trust these other beings that are drawing this stuff out of you. But you can trust in your higher self, because your higher self is your divine path. Your inevitable divine path is the path to your higher self, which is basically just the pathway to yourself, you know? So you have to trust in your divine path, because the path itself is your higher self, and it is inevitably the path to your higher self. And everybody that you meet along the way, no matter what they say in the energy world, that there is too Jerry Springer for my taste when it comes to energy world conversations. But we have to work with what comes. And so I accept that. Because usually it's a lot more complex and more unbelievable to understand. But this simplifies it down, and it gives us ability to kind of perceive and understand at the conscious level. So you can trust in your path, and you can trust the path to your higher self, and you can trust your higher self. And that therefore you can trust yourself. And everything that comes along the path of your life is absolutely correct for you. But sometimes you're going to have to trust in what seems beyond yourself, and you're not really going to be sure if you can trust it or not. And that's the only way to grow and learn. Because even for me to develop my own psychic skills, I had to run into some really hard experiences that I did not know how to. I mean, they broke me down, terribly broke me down, only to be rebuilt and understand in a more dynamic, complex, expanded way. Okay, so you're going to have hard times. You're gonna have good times, and you're gonna. The bigger picture is that this is gonna be really a meaningful, all around meaningful, and well, like worthwhile life for you. Okay. And the next thing is you're really angry at what would be defined as these reptilian beings. And you want to tell them that this part of you does. I'm supposed to tell you that the ropes are yellow in color. And I'm convinced these ropes, you put them there yourself. Nobody put them there but you. And it may appear that life did it, or the reptilians did it, or somebody else did it, but in the end you hang yourself. But they also say that when you hang yourself, look at what comes. Sometimes you hang yourself, but you also put yourself in the perfect position to release all this crap. So perhaps beneath the surface of what seems like a bind is actually the perfect position for releasing this with the help of some other beings. So sometimes we put ourselves in a knot or a bad situation that ends up being exactly where we need to be in order for this other thing to happen. So that's why you have to trust in every step that you take. You have to. And you have to trust in every choice that you make. And you're going to have parts of yourself that are going to need things that you will decide at the mind's level you don't need, but you'll still need to follow through in order to just simply reconcile that little twitch in there, okay? And then when that's reconciled, now you are open to the next thing. So you're going to have other little twitches in there that have other needs, and you're going to decide yes or no to those needs, but it's all guiding your path. All of it is guiding your path. Inevitably it is. So you can trust in your path. You don't need to talk to the reptilians anymore. You're just going to trust in your path. Because it just doesn't, it's almost like you're starting to be aware that there's a lot that's in the past that you don't need to revisit anymore. And now I'm starting to see the ropes disappear. You're meant to be naked and exposed in an awkward way for a reason. Because that's also part of the purging process. But you're also meant to see that there's two reptilians and there's like 50 of these other beings that are in like white outfits. So it's kind of like, ew, gross reptilians. Oh, nice people in white outfits, right? But it does give us a very simple kindergarten level interpretation of what you're struggling with, and how it's echoing back at like a control that it doesn't really exist anymore. And how you need to trust. And there's a lot of amazing beings here to help you. And it may be weird. It may be very, very strange. You may feel a resistance to it. But sometimes that very good things are happening, even if it might be uncomfortable in the process. And again, there's an emphasis in developing your psychic ability. Because it's going to help you navigate what comes next. All right. You're standing upright now. And there's a huge, I forgot about this rip here, but there's a huge energy shift about your third eye and your crown. Like, I'm telling you, like, oh my God, huge energy shift. A lot of anger, a lot of lifetimes of feeling like, just so much anger, okay? Where you didn't have control or power, okay? And that could be a lot of different types of lifetimes. Not that you were a controlling person, but the circumstances were that you just didn't have. Maybe there was a hierarchy. Maybe there was slavery, and then there's these pharaohs. Like it could be anything. This could be other planets, but it's relationships, memories, and there's a multitude of them. Of feeling like you literally can't do anything. You literally can't do anything. And because you can't do anything, it feels like that person who can do something owns your soul. And that's not true, and it's never been true. Not even for the slaves. Nobody owned their soul, they owned their own soul. But when you're powerless and you can't live your life for yourself, you feel like you don't even own your own soul. And those lifetimes have to be reconciled because you own your own soul. That's quickly clearing out of your third eye, your crown. I will say that there is something about this month of March, and I don't know if you're going through any kind of emotional, like some turbulence, or a little bit of some rough waters in there. But you're really clearing out old lifetimes. You're clearing out things that aren't going to relate to the human world, and it might feel like a bit rocky, but you're also being prepared for the next phase of your life, or for what comes next, okay? And everything is divine, and it is the greatest gift to you, okay? Everything is divine. It's the greatest gift to you. You really love, and I mean really love, like anybody would, but like you seriously love benevolent energy. Like, I mean, it's your holy grail, it's your sustenance, it's your soul's light. And you almost like you welcome that benevolent energy to just circulate around you and within you, and you desperately desire, and you welcome it, abundantly welcome it. And you don't, it's kind of like being really tired of the charade and the challenge and the lessons and the process of being human, because you just want to fall into the arms of the benevolence, because why would there be anything else? Why would there be anything else? So you're having a moment right now where the benevolence is around you, and you always have a right. And things get harder than you can process it, you have a right to take a time out. You have a right to say, whoa, I just chill out with everything. I need time out. Because this kind of reminds me again of when you live the day-to-day human life, and then you start doing psychic work, I swear you start living by different rules than the everyday human. And so a lot of your reality is going to be based on clearing things out of yourself that aren't going to make a lot of sense to the people around you, and even being weird sometimes, needing to release in ways that might even be weird to other people. But I think we're all entitled to being human and having our own weird ways of doing things. But if it ever gets where you're noticing that you're really overwhelmed, you're really energetically overwhelmed, just tell God, tell your guides, like, I need time out, I'm overwhelmed. And literally, you'll be gifted a timeout. Almost to the point like, wow, I got the timeout, but we can get started again anytime. And it might last a little bit longer than you had expected, and you may wonder if you acted too soon. But everything is divine. So trust in what you need, trust that you know what you need, and just do your best with it. It's like I'm preparing you for an adventure of transition between a human lifestyle and then more of like a psychic lifestyle. Because I swear there's different rules and different, it's probably the same rules, but maybe it just feels different. I could not say time out. I had to go to work whether I wanted to or not, you know? But if you're doing psychic work, you're going to attract beings, you're going to, and you may need a time out. Like, you may need sleep and screw off for several years. Like, you may need stuff that are going to be no, like normal day to day for a psychic person. You may need that stuff to stop for a while. You may be okay now, you can come in now. Okay, the door's open. No, the door's closed and I need all this to stop. It may take a few weeks, but it'll start to slow down. Okay, so you can kind of control the flow in and out of your energy experience. Okay, and it's gonna be, it can be practical, but it could be very outside the box too. You're tired, you're worn out, you're confused. I cannot believe how hardcore the session is on your mental body energy, because it is getting so hot but so dense and so intense. And it wants to leave, it wants to go, energy that no longer serves your purpose, and it's like really amping up the sound, and what your soul energy in your mental body as well. Like, there's something really incredible happening here. There's a release and kind of a sensation of feeling more of who you are, and it's very felt. It's very felt, amplified. There's still, again, they're revealing to me other more lifetimes where you didn't have any power in the situation, and one of them is really hardcore, and it's kind of connected to the back of your heart portal. Okay, and it just looks like a big black like root or branch. It's disgusting. I mean, I'm meant to feel like so grossed out and disgusted right now, because I'm meant to tell you that it's disgusting. Okay, all right. And it's very possessive, and it's very angry, and it's very hard for you to look this in the eye, because it is behind you for a reason. We're gonna remove this, by the way. No longer serves your purpose, right? This is part of the crap. But this is like a certain location. I meant to do something with this. Okay, um all the root material starts to disappear, and it looks like a very burnt, very long arm, and it's very fleshy and burnt and gross looking, and it's got a hold of your heart really tight, and if I were to take this out, it would rip your heart out right along with its gross burnt arm. Like, if you remove me, I then Abbey will end up, you will lose your heart, because it will take your heart with it. Obviously that's not going to happen, and it's all a bunch of baloney. Because again, nobody has power over your heart but you. Unless you are afraid, unless you are insecure about whatever this is about, then they have a grip on you. Then what this is about, has a grip on you. You're angry about it, but you can't seem to resolve this one. You're gonna have to take another approach, because your sensitivity to it has to be resolved for me to remove this. Okay, and it has to be understood at the level of the mind. and in your subconscious selves, and in your heart. And there's something about the sexual body energy, sacral chakra. The backside of your sacral chakra. So I literally turn you inside out, so you're facing this attachment, and your front is now your backside, to a degree here. So you can see now. It's a really large demonic man who's very angry at you. He's got you by the heart, but it also says he's got you by the balls, like he's got you. And he's mad at you. I just start laughing. Just send it back. The cool part about the energy world is nobody ever has you. Nobody. The human world, different story. But we can work with this truth in order to guide us through this human world, okay? Because when it comes to anything energy, you have the power. Nothing has the power but you. Unless it manipulates you or convinces you that it has the power and you don't, then of course it has the power, right? But in the energy world, it's so, like, you will learn how easy it is nobody has power over you. Literally nobody in the energy world does. They don't. Nobody does. You have power over you. That's it. You still struggle with this one. You still struggle with it. I can't, I can't give you the answer because you have to find it inside yourself. There's a lot I can disconnect, but this one is a very, like, close to home kind of thing, so it's not easy for me to just see you later, not sayonara, sucker. Like, I can't do that here because something inside yourself has to have an epiphany and then just simply know, and then that's when that disappears. And there is a weakness and a hopelessness, and you're crying profusely and you're angry. I say, oh my God, this is genuine and real here. You have to trust the path, remember? You have to trust the path. The path is more powerful than this being. The path is more powerful than anything that is making you feel vulnerable. The path is more powerful. This is helping you to align with your path, with your higher self. With the path to your higher self, you already are your higher self, which means you can believe in you. You can always believe in you and believe in your personal power, even if you don't fully understand what that is yet. Because being human, we're so, like, trying to understand ourselves for a whole lifetime. You just cry, and this is so good, such a release. And I bring the benevolence, I open everything up so you can feel the benevolence here with you, okay? Because the benevolence is in everything. It's even in this demonic being that has you. Like, it's in your heart and everything. It's in your path. It's in your fear. It's in your insecurity. It's in your powerlessness. The benevolence is also in the hardest parts of life, okay? You're feeling it. You're hearing its song. You're remembering who you are. You may need some help along the way. Like, we all need help. We all need help along the way, because why in the world would we come here to just be completely and utterly alone among so many soulmates? We came here to work together, right? And you working with other souls is giving them an opportunity to help you, which makes them feel freaking great, makes you feel freaking great, and helps to resolve this issue so you can trust in the benevolence of the path and the higher self, etc., and now really own it. Where you're going to be now that person in that position to help somebody else one day. And the cycle continues. And it makes you feel awesome, right? To see yourself helping that person and helping them feel awesome about themselves. And they will one day follow in your footsteps, you know? That's how it goes. Yeah, you're having so many awakenings from this. Like, you seriously are. Because you're letting a lot go now. And you're breathing and you're rising above what everything that we've seen thus far was just a major massive energy that you're rising above it. You're even rising above the conversation and the release out the backside. You're rising above all of that because it's all complete now. Okay? There's still residue with your heart. There's still unresolved residue. But I will say you're so incredibly, like you've shifted and risen above so much that you really have an edge here. And part of it might be the life process. So you're going to have some experiences to have the, I see myself now in the mirror, where the first message is kind of like you need to see yourself in front of yourself, like you need to see yourself from outside yourself. So life gives us that ability. And this residue, I don't see this residue being like around for long, because it's meant to be seen already through the session. You're already working on it. You've already risen above it. It's just allowing that to transition completely out, just through the energy shifting and through some experiences that help you to move on from it. But I see this as like very, very minuscule. But yet having a lot of meaning and impact, also representing a lot of powerless lifetimes. You're going through a massive release and transformation here, okay? I'm seeing that a lot in the month of March. A lot of this going on this month. There's a major collective purge. Like, it's incredible. I'm telling you, it's on an incredible level what I've been seeing. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so, so much for this experience. Thank you so much for sharing with others. There's so much we can learn from each other. I'm really rooting for you. I think life is going to get very exciting, okay? If it feels a bit rocky, you're shifting, you're clearing, you're purging a lot. So that's just kind of inevitable part of things feeling rocky, is a big, massive letting go, a purging of sorts, so that you can feel awesome once that's all done, okay? The ebb and flow of the tide, right? Good times, difficult times. But in the end, it's the benevolence is always there, and it's always like really taking us on the path to our higher self, which, we already are. Like, it all makes sense, okay? Swear to God, this is all circulating for all the right reasons. Thank you again so much. And those watching, if you are interested in booking a session, come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I'm also on Patreon at patreon.com/abbeynormalswisdomquest. Have a wonderful day, everybody.